Go where you are deeply celebrated, not just merely tolerated. So that phrase has a lot of things to unpack in it. So the first thing is you need to be somewhere where you're deeply celebrated. And when I say that, believe me when I tell you, I understand that it's a lot easier said than done. For instance, if you're in a workplace that you are not deeply celebrated at, I don't recommend you quit your job today. I recommend you start looking for another job because life is too short. There is nothing like the peace of mind of being somewhere where you are deeply celebrated instead of barely tolerated. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I've had a little distance now from prior places, not just companies, but environments, circles, where I was not celebrated. And the thing that I really want to talk about today is how important it is to recognize when you're being deeply celebrated. There are a couple groups I've joined recently where I'm just being myself. I'm putting myself out there. I'm talking about what's important to me, what I'm passionate about. And not only am I deeply celebrated, people are coming back with their passions. And it's a celebration of what we're all passionate about. And it's not always a workplace. Sometimes it's a group. Sometimes there's a group that you're just, you're barely enjoying it, but you continue to show up. You continue to do it. You continue to go. You go over and over again, hoping it's going to get better. And Einstein's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So I think the biggest part is awareness, right? So like when you realize that you're not being celebrated and you realize that the people around you do not appreciate you and do not care for what you bring to the table, that's when you have to step away from that table or start the process of stepping away from that table. Because I realize that, some of this stuff is involved. Some of this stuff involves family. Some of this involves deeply entrenched habits and people. And the great thing about that is that you are always in control of what it is that you decide to do next. So if you are in a situation where you're barely being tolerated, I want to say, first of all, give yourself grace and then start to figure out your way out. Whatever it is, whether it's with a family member that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, whether it's a workplace that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, whether it's something that you volunteered to do and then it just stopped being fun. I want you to think about that. And today, find the fun for yourself and do me a favor. If you've been in a place where you have been barely tolerated and then went to a place where you were deeply celebrated, I want you to sound off in the comments and go ahead and put it down. You don't have to put the particulars. You can just talk about how much better you felt once you left. I'll kick us off. There was a place I was going to over and over and over again, over and over and over again. And then finally I realized, you know what? I am not enjoying myself. This is not a joyful experience and life is too short. And as soon as I stepped away, I felt lighter. I felt like I had lost 100 pounds of weight. Like I had just released this horrible, horrible situation. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. My name's Jen Haston. This is Haston Helping Hands. I am the boss of balance and I help people find theirs. If this is your first visit to my page, welcome. I'm very happy to have you. If you find this helpful, like and subscribe. See y'all next week. Bye.